Hello and welcome to this view from the ADB. I'm Kimberly Long, Asia Answered the Banker, and I'm joined by Andrew Lee, who is Assistant Minister of Charities, Competition and Treasury in Australia. Thanks for joining me, Andrew.
Real pleasure, Kimberly. Thanks for having me on the Banker.
So to begin with, we've seen in Australia, like a lot of countries globally, there's been a real rise in the cost of living. What is the government doing to help people through this time?
We're prioritising cost of living relief in as responsible way as we can. So a key part of the upcoming budget will be energy bill relief, and that's estimated, along with the gas price and coal price caps, to take 0.5 percentage point off inflation. We've also put in place major childcare reforms. I know Britain's looking at similar issues as well. That's got a huge productivity dividend, but it also has an immediate benefit in cost of living to Australians. And then we've made reforms around pharmaceuticals, which are making medicines cheaper for Australian households. But there's no getting away from the fact that inflation is high in Australia as it is in many other countries. The numbers seem to suggest that it has peaked, but it is still significantly above the Reserve Bank's target band.
And what is all this having an impact on interest rates? How is this being managed?
Well, the Reserve Bank has been continually raising interest rates. They make those decisions independently from government, but certainly the recent interest rate rise was a pretty brutal reminder to Australians of the impact that inflation is having in the domestic economy. We understand that much of that is driven by supply chain pressures, the war in Ukraine, but there's also long-standing challenges that the former government didn't properly address. So through our education reforms, we're making sure that there's more skilled workers available. That then ensures that industries are able to get going, and you move away from one of the problems that ends up with too much money chasing too few goods, the classic economist definition of inflation.
And finally, we've seen here at the ADB this week, there is such a focus now on the green economy and also the move towards renewables. And, you know, Australia has had a long time relationship with mining, with fossil fuels. How is Australia now moving towards more renewables? And also, what is that doing to the economy overall?
When it comes to climate change action, Australia is back as part of the solution. We understand the importance of hitting net zero by 2050. We've committed to a 43% emissions reduction by 2030. That involves beefing up the domestic safeguards mechanism for our largest emitters, and also involves ensuring that we have a plan to increase the uptake of electric vehicles within our economy, and ensuring that we have strong incentives for the renewables transition. Within the electricity grid, we're looking at moving from an electricity grid that's around a third renewables to around 4/5 renewables just between now and 2030. So that requires masses of investment in solar, wind, offshore wind, which we're getting going. And so we're welcoming international investment in those sectors because we understand the importance of that to the Australian economy and also to our region. So here at the ADB, Australia engages very closely with Pacific Islands, for whom climate change and sea level rise is an existential threat. They're a real reminder of the world that we could face, Kimberly, if we don't tackle dangerous climate change.
Andrew, thank you so much for joining me today.
Real pleasure. Thank you.